Thinly veiled threats is a devious manipulation tactic used by malicious narcissists to maintain dominance and power over you. These threats are insidious, often subtle, and can leave you paralyzed with fear, sometimes with only a word or a sideways glance. In this video, we explore what thinly veiled threats are, why narcissists use them, and what they look like. Stick around to the end where we give tips on dealing with thinly veiled threats. A thinly veiled threat is a subtle form of intimidation or coercion wherein the true intentions or consequences is not explicitly stated but implied. It often relies on insinuation, suggestion, or innuendo to convey a message of potential harm or consequences. The thinly veiled threat frequently follows an incident or overt threat and can be given in many forms, which will be explored a bit later. A thinly veiled threat normally serves as a trigger to make you remember previous actions or behaviors that caused distress or fear in you, allowing the narcissist to leverage past behaviors to instill compliance or submission without them needing to repeat the behaviors. Many narcissists will stage a massive overreaction designed to shock you to the core, which allows them to repeatedly refer to the incident and hint that it may happen again if you do not comply. Thinly veiled threats can also be used to evoke a sense of anticipation or dread regarding potential future actions or consequences, playing on your fears and insecurities to maintain control over you. Thinly veiled threats are normally designed to be easy to defend and deny and very hard to expose. Narcissists using this tactic know psychological manipulation and know exactly what they are doing. Thus, they will often use words or actions that if you were to retaliate to other people, will seem like you are overreacting. The actions are thus custom-made for each victim by an abuser who consciously thinks about how they can best control with fear while hiding their tactics. Say the narcissist needs to take you to work, but one morning you complain about them not having taken out the trash the evening before. To punish you for trying to hold them accountable, they refuse to take you to work. A few days later, you complain because they left their dirty clothes all over the bathroom floor. And the narcissist comments, "Do you want to miss work again?" This statement is the thinly veiled threat and hints at if you keep going, they will again refuse to take you to work. Or you come home from work and did not buy them their cigarettes because you don't have the money, or you wish for them to stop smoking. While you explain why you did not buy them cigarettes, they suddenly flip the kitchen table over and then throw chairs around while screaming, and then storm out of the house. 2 hours later when they return, you are still trembling from fear. But the narcissist is calm and apologetic while smelling like cigarette smoke. They apologize and claim they only reacted this way because they are under stress, and the cigarettes are the only thing that calms them down. Now in the future, when you even hint at them stopping smoking, they just say, "Do you really want to see that side of me again?" They may even tell you that they may have tampered with your car's brakes, or that they may just wait for you on the road and push you into a ditch when you want to go out and they do not approve. Then just before you go out, they say with a devious smile, "I really hope you get home okay tonight." Thinly veiled threats can also be used to keep you from leaving them or have you return to them. The narcissist may say to you that if you leave them, they will hunt you down and then end your life. If you do leave them, they may say on a Monday morning send you a text message saying, "I really look forward to seeing you this weekend." This can drive you crazy from fear, not knowing if they found you and if they are coming the weekend to end your life. By the weekend you may be emotionally and mentally destroyed, yet you cannot prove that they threatened to kill you, as all you have is a message saying that they are looking forward to seeing you. By the weekend they may send a message saying, "See you soon." Not knowing what the narcissist will do and when is so an effective manipulation tactic, but even without any evidence that the narcissist knows where they are, many victims elect to rather return to the narcissist than live in constant anxiety, looking over their shoulder and jumping at every shadow. Victims often state that by going back, at least they know where the narcissist is, what mood they are in, and feel they have some control over what the narcissist may do. A very frightening and sadistic veiled threat is using your children or pets to threaten you. For instance, you may get into an argument with a narcissist, and then a few days later when you go to sleep, the narcissist takes your children and disappears for hours or even days, often taking them to, say, Disneyland or someplace far away without telling you, so that they have plausible deniability for being away so long if you do call the police. When they return, they may say to you, "Next time when I take a drive, you will never see your children again." They then use this emotional shock and fear of you going to bed and waking up with your children gone to dominate you. Whenever they are displeased with your behavior, they may just say, "I think me and the children will take a drive soon." Sadly, many victims endure horrific abuse so that the narcissist leaves their children or pets alone. Now that we covered how thinly veiled threats look, let's cover why narcissists use them and then tips on how to deal with them. Thinly veiled threats mainly serve to keep you in a constant state of uncertainty and apprehension, reinforcing the narcissist's sense of superiority and control. By obscuring their intentions behind a facade of ambiguity, the narcissist can evade accountability while still exerting influence over you. Thinly veiled threats are low-maintenance manipulation and control tactics. It takes a lot less energy to just hint at what can happen or remind you of a violent abusive incident than to redo it. It also evokes the same fear response in you without the narcissist needing to redo the action and risk being exposed and held accountable. Thinly veiled threats give a massive ego boost to a narcissist in that they can control you and shut you down with so little effort, such as saying one sentence or tapping their finger on a table. It also allows them to get away with their abuse and manipulation in public. Other people will often make nothing of what was said, which allows a narcissist to discreetly keep control over you and shut you down in court, at parties, or even at your parents' house. Thinly veiled threats protect the narcissist from being exposed and held accountable for their abusive behaviors. Mental and emotional abuse are often very difficult to prove, but when delivered as a veiled threat, it makes it almost impossible to prove, as the veiled threat on its own is often meaningless. The original incident or threat needs to be considered, which may have happened months or years earlier with no proof. This makes it very hard for victims to find help and people who are willing to believe them. But it also makes it hard for victims to see the abuse they are suffering, as a narcissist may never hit them. Yet, each time they are reminded of that one incident through a veiled threat, their minds and bodies relive the event as if they are attacked again. Sometimes the effects can be worse because constantly fearing something may happen can be worse than if it happened and was over, which is why some victims will start to push the narcissist to act so that the incident can be over and done with, and the victim can stop stressing about when it is going to happen. What to do about thinly veiled threats? First, know and accept that this is a manipulative tactic used to control and intimidate, and that a person who uses thinly veiled threats knows that they are abusing you and knows how to use mental and emotional manipulation to make you go crazy while covering their tracks. It takes a deprived mind to be this calculated and malicious. A person like this, sadly, does not love you as you understand love is, nor will they change, no matter what they promise you. The threats are a tactic to emotionally and mentally destroy you so that the person can dominate you. This is not an anger issue. This is a control issue with a person feeling entitled to control every aspect of your life and are willing to make you live in fear for them to have control over you. Next, secretly document everything and record everything you can. When you document incidences, you will over time be able to see and understand their pattern of behavior. This can help you see through the narcissist's attempts to undermine your autonomy and agency. When confronted with a veiled threat, it is essential to remain composed and centered. Avoid reacting impulsively or emotionally, as this can play into the narcissist's hands. Instead, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you have the strength and resilience to handle the situation. Yet, do not solely dismiss the threat, but take them seriously, as many narcissists have followed through on their threats when they did not get the response they wanted, or they lost control by their partner leaving them. Then, clearly communicate your limits and expectations to the narcissist, and be prepared to enforce consequences if those boundaries are crossed. This may involve limiting contact, seeking support from friends and family, or seeking professional help, as well as possibly seeking legal help and ending the relationship. Prioritize self-care and emotional well-being in your life. Make an effort to engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether it's exercise, hobbies, or spending time with loved ones. Investing in your own happiness and fulfillment can help strengthen your resilience and self-esteem. As stated before, keep a record of any veiled threats or abusive behavior, including dates, times, and specific details, down to how you felt emotionally, the fear you had, and what you fear may happen. Documentation can serve as evidence if you need to take legal action or seek intervention from authorities or mental health professionals. But it is important to remember that a veiled threat on its own may mean very little. You need to show that the veiled threat was meant to trigger a fear in you by referencing a previous incident and making you believe it will happen again, or the narcissist making you believe that some consequences will follow if you do not comply with their demands. This is essentially coercive control, of which you can see a video I made by following the link in the description. So the focus is not so much on what the narcissist did or said, as often it is not illegal in itself, but the emotional and psychological effects it had on you. Even if they never physically hurt you or screamed at you, making you live in fear and constant anxiety, or controlling your life, such as what you can say, where, eat, when you can sleep, if you can work or not, who you can be friends with, and so on, is coercive control and is domestic abuse. Thus, try to record them when they deny you something, such as refusing to allow you to work or even going to the shops, and then making veiled threats that if you do disobey their wishes, there will be consequences. Or where they make derogatory remarks about you or call you disgusting names, put you or your accomplishments down, and make you feel ashamed of yourself. Be forewarned that thinly veiled threats often become more overt and physical abuse do often follow. Thus, things will frequently get worse over time. This is not a person who will change with counseling, as they already know exactly what they're doing and are not interested in changing. You will have to think about the risk to you and your children in staying, and may need to leave a person. If you left, please do not go back. The abuse will increase to punish you for leaving and them trying to make you so afraid that you will never attempt to leave again. As you did leave, their worst fear has already come true, which will make them paranoid that you will leave them again, which might put your life in significant danger, as many abusers will rather end your life than suffer the blow to their ego of being rejected and abandoned. Get help by asking and telling your story. It will be hard, but your life and the lives of your children are worth it. The narcissist will often after some time start to lose control over their emotions when they realize you are not coming back and make a mistake, such as overtly threatening you in a call or text that can be used to prove abuse or that your life is in danger. So if you left, make sure you record all calls and make screenshots of text messages. If you did go back, please do not think badly of yourself or that you deserve the abuse for going back. Narcissists are extremely good at mental and emotional manipulation. Leaving an abuser, especially a narcissistic one who specializes in mind games, is extremely difficult and is a process that takes tremendous mental and emotional effort. From studies, it is found that on average, it takes around 50 abusive incidents before a victim may first report abuse or want to leave. And then on average, it takes a victim around 7 attempts to leave an abuser for good. Trauma bonding, the hope of them changing, and their gaslighting are powerful forces that make victims stay and go back. Focus on protecting yourself and your children, getting evidence, and planning so that the next time you leave, it will be for good. Remember that you do not deserve to be abused because you do not live up to the impossible standards of one person who has mental issues and sees you as an emotional punching bag. You deserve to be loved, respected, and being happy. Learn more about narcissism by watching the video suggested to you right now.